Hello, it's Mrs. Smoller. I just wanted to walk through some of the key components that we discussed in the meeting for ICDC last week, and just in case parents and students wanted to watch together and hopefully maybe answer some questions that you might have. Please feel free. I shared my email, of course, and my phone number in the email on Sunday evening, so please let me know if you have anything that you'd rather discuss over the phone too. So this is the agenda for the meeting that we had on Friday. Most of the information is going to be found in this tentative schedule, last minute info. Gave all the students a hard copy of this too. A couple of other things I do want to point out here. The medication forms, I still do need these, even if it's over the counter medication signed by the doctor. I still have the folder of everything that I received for states. So if you turned in a form then, I still have it. If it's something new, though, we'll need you to complete that form. If you want to come back and watch, this is just a slideshow provided by DECA at this link. There's briefing videos, 3 to 4 minutes, that all students should watch. I think I covered most of this with everybody already, but it would not hurt to watch those too. And one of the things also I wanted to add, I still do have some blazers. If you could just make sure you take that home just to make sure everything fits and works out with your dress attire before it's a couple days before we leave. So please make sure you plan to take those home soon too. So going back to this last minute agenda, just a few things to point out. We've got the hotel, if you're curious to look up on maps or go to their website. The students will be competing. All the ceremonies will be held at the Orange County Convention Center, which this is a link to that site too. On their website, it does show a bunch of concessions that also should be open as eating options at the convention center. And they did note that that is a cashless building too, if you would like to purchase any food at the convention center. My phone number is here, which you're welcome to program into your phone. And there'll be 4 additional chaperones attending, which all chaperones have been to several ICDC state conferences in the past. So they know all about all of the DECA events too. We'll be leaving this Friday. Of course, students are expected to attend school through fifth period. I will be teaching through fifth period as well. Once they arrive Friday morning, they just need to put their bags in room 429, and we will lock that room up until we're done with classes after fifth period, and we'll have our luggage checked sixth period, with the buses arriving around 12:15. That was the latest I could schedule buses so that they are back in time to complete their runs in the afternoon. I realize that does give us a lot of time at the airport, but at least we know we'll get there, get checked in, have plenty of time for everything. And I do want to schedule a couple of meetings once we're at the airport too, when students get a chance to eat. One, just a time to get to know everybody, because we do have a lot of students. We do have freshmen through seniors attending. And then another, we can plan sessions if people want to um, help any help programming their Disney tickets or setting up any groups for Disney the next day. Our flight information's here. If you'd like to follow our flights, we do get into Orlando at 9 p.m. Friday night. Our flight number for the way home, it is a direct flight, and I do not have transportation for the students on the way home. So parents will need to pick their student up or plan for a carpool on Wednesday evening. Students can check 2 bags up to 50 pounds each with them, and you can also have a carry-on and a personal item on the plane. A lot of students typically take a book bag. I'm taking my book bag and laptop with me on the plane too. As far as meals provided, this is a little different than states where every meal is a buffet meal. The only night that meal is provided would be Monday at Universal, which you did already pay for. The students would just receive a $25 voucher for dinner or merchandise that evening. And then Pennsylvania DECA does typically have a pizza party on Tuesday evening after the final award ceremony. So that is a little bit later. It would be like after dinner time, but would be another food option for you. Listed the hotel amenities here. We stayed here 8 years ago, and it really is a nice hotel. Lots to do when the students are not competing, as far as pools, fire pits, basketball, volleyball, bocce courts in the rooms. There'll be a coffee maker and a mini refrigerator, which we do have a Walgreens across the street. So that first night, probably students can pack some snacks here and there, but just thinking about the wait, especially with drinks, we'll go over Friday night once we arrive, just so students can have get some water or anything they might need for their room. As far as dining options, there are a couple in our hotel. There's a scratch market that is 24 hours. And if I remember correctly from 8 years ago, there was a Starbucks in our hotel too. A couple of other more grill type options at the pool or in the restaurant or in the hotel. And then a higher end restaurant. Right across the street, there is a McDonald's, a Dunkin', a Denny's, a Red Lobster, and that Walgreens that students would be able to go to. And there are a fair number of options just up that international drive. Um, a little bit of a walk. So, pretty much have enough covered right in our area. One of the most important things, other than your DECA blazer to compete, is to have some type of identification. Students that are 18 and older will likely need their driver's license or a form of ID at the airport. In the past, students under 18 have not had to show ID at the airport, but you do need to show an ID when you're competing. So this could be a school ID. If you don't have your driver's license yet, it could be a passport, but you need some type of identification. And this is something I'll check before we leave the school on Friday. Adequate spending money. I've had people tell me between $200 to $500. It really just depends on your eating habits and also if you're taking money to shop or any other recreation. I know there's like a Top Golf. There's a mini golf in the vicinity too. Business attire. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to pack up all of the visual boards in a portfolio case to use as one of my checked bags. And then also, I'll take the easels, but students are responsible for their laptop, their copies of their paper, any visuals that they would like to show the judge. I will have a bag of kind of craft supplies in case we need to glue anything, cut anything, and a couple of pencils, calculator for those that are testing that I'll throw in my bag too. Clothes for recreational time. I have had a lot of questions about what's DECA appropriate, and I honestly used to have school appropriate, but then some things I see at school, don't know that are school appropriate. So over the years, I've changed that to DECA appropriate. It is a business professional conference, but for the most part, what students are wearing to school is fine. I mean, nothing graphic, offensive on a t-shirt. And for the ladies, I would say nothing too short, too tight, showing too much. I know we're going to be going to Florida, and obviously we'll have some pool time. But when we're at the parks and um, in between the DECA sessions, when you're not in professional attire, just please be mindful that it is a professional business club trip that we are going on. Like I said, for the most part, everything everybody wears every day to school is completely fine. But wanted to add that in there. Also, sunscreen was an addition from the first one that I sent. The weather looks like it's going to be anywhere from 85 to 90 degrees, so please pack some sunscreen. This next page just goes through what you need to wear each day. Friday can be casual. We always wear our Bethel Park DECA shirts on the plane. Saturday is going to be our probably our busiest day. That casual dress to Disney World. We'll come back and have to change pretty quickly to go to the PA DECA meeting in our hotel, which this is where you'll need to have a suit coat, your dress clothes, dress shoes on. For this event, for any of the ceremonies, where you're not up for an award, you can wear any type of suit or blazer. Some people just take the DECA blazer, have a few different outfits to wear underneath, which is completely fine. Some people like to take an additional suit jacket to wear for the opening ceremonies or possibly the mini award. It's just up to you. From the PA DECA meeting, we'll go straight to the opening ceremonies, which this will give us all a chance to walk over to the convention center together so that you'll know where you're competing. One nice thing about our hotel, it is connected to the convention center. There's actually one building on our side of the road. It's not where we're competing, but our hotel has a direct walkway to that portion of the convention center, which then there's another walkway to the convention center where they'll be competing across the road too. So I know there were some concerns about walking in your business attire when it's 90 degrees, but you will have an air conditioned in walkway and then also a covered walkway in the event of any Florida rain that we might encounter. There is a shuttle that will run from the convention center to our hotel. It is not as frequent though as we are one of the closer hotels, but I would say if you leave yourself plenty of time to get over or maybe on the way back if you don't feel like walking, that is an option too, but it's about a 15 or 20-minute walk through those buildings to get there. And the opening ceremonies will be held in this right next to where the kids will be competing or attending the academies. On Sunday, everybody's going to have their own schedule. We'll have some students testing. We'll have some students, the majority of students will be presenting their projects on Sunday. We'll have students attending leadership academies. When you're presenting your project Sunday, this is your best DECA blazer outfit. If you have anything that you're matching with your teammates, this is definitely the day to wear it. Those that are testing or attending a leadership academy, you don't need a DECA blazer. It can absolutely be a DECA blazer. Just any blazer with dress shoes, dress pants, skirt, dress for these two events that day. Monday, we do have some students that will be presenting this day, and we also have students that will be attending leadership academies. And again, the students presenting these days will need the DECA blazer. This is the night also that we go to Universal Studios. Florida, and similar to the Disney day on Saturday, we do have a bus that picks us up directly at our hotel and takes us to the park. One thing to note too, we don't walk around with the students at the parks. We're absolutely welcome if they would like to walk around and ride with us. We do just make sure that everybody has a group of students that we're with, and we do have meeting times for the students, as well as connecting through the GroupMe app that we've been working to add everybody to. I always have my phone on me, which by the end of the trip, I always need to take a break from the phone, but I always have that just a message if you have any questions or need anybody when we're in the parks or at any hour of the day on the trip. Tuesday is when they have the mini awards, and this is when the students find out if they make the finals. For this one, you do need to wear a DECA blazer because to go on stage to receive an award, you do need to have a DECA blazer dress outfit. I would say your best DECA presentation outfit. I would wear this again if it's still clean and ready to go in case you do make the finals. I know last year we had students that had to present right after they found out. So I had the students bring their boards or laptops with them. And then we had couple of groups that were a little bit later, had a chance to get something to eat, but didn't go back to the hotel. And then one student that didn't present till close to 4 at night. So it just depends on where you are in your order. The way the mini awards work, there's different heats at nationals. There's typically maybe 10, 12, 15 heats of 14 to 20 students or teams. And it's typically the top two teams in each heat make the finals. So then we would have that competition in the afternoon. For anyone that does not make the finals, the last time we were in Florida 4 years ago, some people wanted to stay. I stayed back at the pool. Some just wanted to hang out at the pool. Others wanted to go to Disney Springs. So they went with some of the other advisors on, there's a streetcar, a street trolley bus that they took over to Disney Springs to shop and eat that afternoon. And then Tuesday evenings, they have grand awards. Wednesday morning, it's pretty much just pack up and head to the airport. One thing I do want to know, please discuss the expectations with your students. This is a school trip. There are 40 students going. This is the highest number of students I have ever had attend. And everybody is fantastic and been really happy with how the trips have gone in the past. But I do really want you to cover these. We have had students, actually the last state trip and the last national trip, that did have things in their luggage that excused them from the trip. They were not allowed to attend. Tobacco, drugs, vapes, alcohol, not tolerated. You would have to pay for your student if caught with that when we're there. Come and get your student, buy them a plane ticket to go home if this would happen while we're on the trip. Of course, if anything's found beforehand, students are not allowed to attend and you do not receive your money back for the trip. All school rules apply. Anything that would happen there would be as if you did it at school. A couple of things that are really specific that differ from the state conference. You must have another Bethel Park student with you at all times, of course, unless you are an individual competitor. If you are to leave the hotel, you must notify one of the chaperones. I will have everybody's presentation time, so I will know when you're heading over there to compete. Those will be announced on the app on Saturday, the DECA app. When you're done competing Sunday, maybe Monday when some of you are not competing. If you want to go across the street to Dunkin', go to Denny's across the street, go to Walgreens, you need to notify a chaperone, preferably in person. There should always be somebody up there in the rooms by everybody. If you cannot find anybody, you would need to message us through the GroupMe. Please be careful when walking around that Hotel International Drive area. It is a very busy street. There's two sets of 2 to 3 lane highway that you need to cross to get over to the McDonald's Dunkin' area, or when you're walking along International Drive. One thing I really stress to the students are please only cross at crosswalks and please follow the signs on the crosswalk. Don't walk until it says walk, no frog or jaywalking, because there are really a lot of busy streets where we're going to be attending. I also don't want anybody Ubering, getting into a cab without a chaperone. Must attend all functions, be early, at least 30 minutes. Really, you're here to compete. Make sure on your competition day that you get over there early, just so you know where you are. Maybe run through your presentation a couple of times. When we go to opening ceremonies, you'll be able to see where you will be presenting the next day. Sometimes we should have a DECA drawstring string brag that everybody will get Friday night if you need to carry materials over. Sometimes with the long walk and dress shoes. I know last year the ladies would wear comfortable shoes over, then maybe pack dress shoes to wear for your presentation. But do be early. Just like with states, guys and girls cannot be in the same rooms. There are plenty of areas that you can hang out in the hotel or in the pool complex, being professionally dressed. um, One thing that comes up always on these trips is ordering food later, and when there's thousands and thousands of students ordering food, it can get delayed. So if you are going to have anything delivered, please do that by 9, so that you can be in your room at the curfew at midnight. Just being respectful to all DECA advisors, all students. You're going to get a chance to meet people from all over the world. California, New Jersey, Massachusetts will be staying in the hotel with us. Also, to your Bethel Park students, too, we do have um, like I said, freshman to senior this year, please be respectful. Please include all of your fellow classmates with you on any of these events. Here's some additional links for you. This is the word for word from the DECA uh, handbook as far as code of conduct, which I highlighted a lot of those, but please review these with your student. Also, the dress code. I think the main thing, this is pretty similar to stage, just that you need a DECA blazer when you're competing or to go on stage. One thing, too, if ladies, if they have a collared shirt, if it's like a higher collared dress shirt, blouse, they do ask that you have appropriate neckwear with a scarf or the ascot, which I do actually have 2 of those DECA scarves if you do have a blouse that you can wear with it. Another thing they're picky about is just it needs to be dress shoes. It can't be canvas or boat shoes, as they say. This is just a checklist that's great to go through when you're packing, which I'm not going to read it word for word, but just be sure that you check through this um, when you're packing. You do need to attend school the next day. You are responsible for making up all the work that you miss while you're out. So the teachers already have a list of those that are attending. So please make sure that you check in with your teachers to know what you're missing. These next few pages, this is really similar to the breakdown of what to wear every day. This is just tentative timing for everything. Just to give you an idea, like I said, some days are a lot more jam packed than others. So you will have a little bit of freedom, which is something to discuss with your student too, that they're mindful to let a chaperone know of their whereabouts if they do plan to go eat somewhere, if they're walking to those locations, and be responsible when they are doing so. And this is just schedules by students, by teams, and these are just the potential start times for Sunday. Like I mentioned, the app will post what time you actually present on Sunday. The only ones set in stone for Sunday are the academies and the test times. Also, Monday, the academy times are set in stone. This presentation time would just be the first time that you could present, but those can run until 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, the presentation times. Which, if we do have anybody going later, just like we do at States, Sunday morning, we're happy to hear presentations if you want to practice. If anybody wants to practice Saturday evening after the opening ceremonies, we're happy to hear presentations too. Tuesday are what time we need to be over at the mini awards. And that is it. So that was really, really fast, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't too long that you would watch all the way through. But please do just discuss this document with your student. And please, like I said, don't hesitate to reach out by phone, by email. Before we leave this week, or also while we're attending the conference. It really is just a wonderful experience, a great event. We've had really great trips in the past, and I'm expecting the same this year too.